everybody, Ninja Nick here with 420 Gamer TV, bringing you a quick little gameplay of Friday the 13th. And in this video, we're going to be doing a relationship talk, and we're going to be getting high as shit. I get to enjoy the day. My son is actually going to be hanging out with his grandmother today, so it's like, oh yay. A peaceful day of sleeping in and cleaning. Well, can't even say sleeping in because I'm awake at been awake since like 6 something, I think. Yeah, it's 8:06 now. But, anyways, as you can see in the title of it, it says, Being Lonely and What to Expect. Now, everyone knows what it feels like to be lonely. Everyone knows what it's like. Now, what most people don't realize is after you're lonely for so long, does it ever go away? Why is it, like for some people like myself who, well, I don't question or wonder because I've been alone for a very long time, but some people wonder why, for the most part, why is it that even in crowds of people or with groups of friends or with family members and stuff like that, why is it they still feel alone? Why is it they still get that lonely feeling? Why is it, they don't really feel complete or, wanted or anything else? And you're wanted by your friends and family, but it's not quite the same want that that you want, which is the want of one particular person who will always be there for you no matter what. They will be in your corner and only your corner, that kind of like thing. And well, in true aspects, that loneliness doesn't go away until you actually find that one specific person to kind of help with it. Now, you can make your loneliness like dissipate and not feel as bad generally by doing certain things, such as going out and being with your friends. Now, with groups of your friends who are couples, you'll feel even worse. But at the same time, if you think of it as, what, this is a lot better than being completely alone, which is no one around, no one to talk to, no one to interact with, that's even worse. Because then, you're sitting there wallowing in your self-pity, and you're sitting there thinking about, what's wrong with me, why is this, why is that, all the same questions that most people will ask themselves while alone. Because, there's no one around. And lots of people ask and wonder, well, how do you get rid of it? You don't. You just deal with it. Quite literally, you just deal with it. You don't do anything other than that. And, it sucks. But at the same time, it's nowhere near as bad, like I said. Because I've been alone for a very long time. And I mean a very long time. Now, some people wonder, like, well, how can you be alone if you're in a relationship? Well, that's actually pretty fucking easy. If you're in a relationship, much like how mine was, which was pretty much the person was only with me to primarily make sure that they got what they needed and they were taken care of. They had no interaction with me whatsoever. Pretty much on a daily basis, I spent every day by myself except for with my son. You know, when you're with somebody but yet they're not mentally there, you're still alone. And then that will add on to your your feelings of being alone and feeling lonely and shit like that. And it will progressively get worse and worse and worse, and it will actually amplify that feeling of feeling alone and being alone in groups and crowds, because of the fact of the matter is that the one specific person that actually shouldn't make you feel that way is making you feel that way. So yeah, actually in a relationship you can feel alone, and if you feel alone in a relationship, then that means that that relationship is dead. It's no longer existing. It's you yourself is just holding on to a dead rotten corpse, and there's no point, no sense in even holding on anymore. Even if you think that it's like the pain of letting go is gonna be too great, imagine the pain of you holding on to something and you finding out that there was no point, and then they quickly move on because they had no feelings for you that entire time, and then they finally found somebody and they're off and gone. you know it's fucking crazy, but it happens. I mean, one of my exes, she does that quite often. Like, quite the fuck often. And I mean, it's fucking crazy. Now, you know, people have asked me, like, when you're feeling alone, what is it that you do to help you not feel alone? Well, that's the thing. I always feel alone. You know, ever since, like, uh, shit. Me and my original ex, my son's mom, got together in about 2012. And, you know, yeah, it was a little bit back before 2012. It was like a little bit towards the end of 2011. But we were together for about 5.5, 6 years. Now, that entire time, she hardly touched me. She hardly talked to me. She hardly interacted with me. We didn't do anything. I mean, even when I planned to do stuff or take her somewhere, it wouldn't work because of the fact of the matter is she'd come up with like a million excuses on why she couldn't go, or, you know, why she didn't want to go, or, you know, whatever. In true aspect, she just didn't want to do shit with me. But
Is that real? This can't be real.
if you're, like, quite literally, if you are in a relationship and the person's making you feel like you're inadequate, or, you know, you're completely by yourself, like you're on an island and shit, get the fuck out of that relationship. Run the fuck away. Get away in any way, shape, or form, because that person's gonna continuously suck the life out of you, and that's not fair. Not fair to you, and especially not fair to the next person that you end up dating, because, like, if you're like most people, you will hold, like, past wrongdoings against any other person that you will date. I would know, because it's happened to me with several women. I've been, like, accused of being a cheat. I've been accused of, you know, lying, using women and shit like that, when actually, in true aspects, that's been me the entire time that being used and lied to and cheated on and shit. But at the same time, you know, I understand where that whole thought process and mentality comes from, because, you know, I have that same shit pop in my head every so often when I was dating people. But the thing is, if you like the person and care about the person, you can't let stupid shit like that, like, ruin it. Quite literally, you can't. And if you do, then, you know, it's your own damn fault. Quite literally. You should have not let your insecurities ruin something that could have been good. Now, at the same time, don't be stupid. Don't, like, just expect that person to treat you right or be a good person, because not everyone's gonna do that. Not everyone's gonna treat you with respect and dignity and pride and all that kind of stuff. No one's gonna treat you the way you will treat them. Not everybody. So, you know, you always have to be guarded and protect yourself. But, you know, just trying to get past the whole lonely, you know, like, inadequate feeling, it's like, pretty much good luck with that. It's hard, and, you know, it's a daily struggle. I'm not kidding. You will feel alone, you will feel inadequate, you will feel useless, you will, like, all that negative shit, you will feel it. On a daily. And most people think that, you know, oh, well, you shouldn't have to have someone to make you feel good about yourself. It's like, yes, that's very true. But the thing is, we as human beings, there's just something innate about us that needs a companion, that needs, you know, that other specific person. We have been that way since the creation. We've always sought after that one specific person that will, you know, complete our world. And, you know, that's always going to be that way, no matter what. Oh, shit. But, you know, just gotta realize that for some people, it's a lot longer than others. But, you know, just kind of coping and dealing with the loneliness while actually on the search, and, you know, not giving up. Because, I mean, shit, I've wanted to give up a lot. I still want to give up on a daily basis. But it's like, I sit there and think, it's like, well, how miserable will I be if I do give up? I mean, I'll be pretty fucking miserable. But at the same time, it's like, will the misery of knowing that I'm alone and not gonna find anyone because I'm not gonna bother? Or, you know, will me on the constant search and constantly being told the same fucking thing over and over again, which is, oh, I want to have fun, or raising some other dude's child is a little bit more of a responsibility, especially seeing the fact that he's handicapped. Oh, you have a handicapped son. Well, there's a high possibility that if you have kids with anyone, that they'll end up handicapped. It's like, oh, okay, and like quite literally. And these are some of this has been told to me by women older than me. I'm 27, and I've been told by several women, like at least 30 plus, that the risk of getting with someone like me is nowhere near good enough because of the just because of the fact that one, I'm a single father. Two, they don't want to deal with the fact that crazy ex kind of like shit. Three, handicapped son. It's like, oh, and several of the women weren't even women I was actually talking to like kind of like date or like see if I could take them out on a date. No, a couple of them were just women from the dating site who decided to be some fucking evil, mean bitches and just go, oh yeah, by the way, because of these circumstances that are on your profile, you won't find anybody. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, I ain't no ugly motherfucker, but if a woman don't want to be with me because I'm a responsible father, that's their fucking choice. That just proves how immature women are nowadays. And I'm not saying all women. I'm just saying, like, the awesome women. But, like, the majority of them, they're with a retard. And, or, is just, I don't know. It's weird. It's much like dudes. You know what I mean? Like, most of the good guys will go for that evil, mean bitch who will, like, completely and utterly control them. And they have, like, no control over their life. Which, I mean, you have to have some kind of, like, freedom in a relationship for it to actually even work. Because, I mean, if you have, like, zero freedom and, you're not able to actually, like, do, I can't say what you want, but, live the way you want without having fear of your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend getting mad at you, it's kind of fucked up. You shouldn't have to be worried about what they're gonna do or say to you, period. So that's like a given. But that's just like the funny thing. Usually, like, the good girls will go after the retards, like just the fuck ups and no goods, and the same thing with the good guys. The good guys will sit there and go after the quickest woman. Now, this is how you know how good of a woman usually are. If they're willing to pretty much date you, and I'm not saying like go out on a date and like see how you are and who you are. No, I mean like, oh, you're gonna date me, and then you're instantly pretty much taking care of their whole entire life. And yet they're extremely superficial, and I mean extremely superficial, such as like they're always on their phone, they're always constantly, talking to someone other than you, and they're, you pretty much don't seem to exist too much to them. Well, that's not really a relationship. Much like how, like, some of those dudes will go after those really rich women who are older to kind of, like, take care of them and shit. It's the same thing. The whole sugar daddy, sugar baby thing. It's pretty much the same thing. And that's pretty much what you are. You're just someone to pretty much help pay their bills or, take care of their kids. And that's the thing about, some people. It's like, it's horrible. But that's just like something that you're gonna have to get used to as being like being single, especially if you're a single parent. Single parents they have it way harder. I mean, single moms, they have it a little bit easier than single dads because the fact of the matter is women are constantly sought after, like quite literally. Women are always asked by men, period, to go out, to go on dates, go do shit. Men are never asked by women, ever. Especially if you're a single father. If you're a single father, much like myself, and you don't really have the time and or energy and or like, I'm weird because I don't like going out to clubs or bars and shit because, I know for a fact that's not the kind of woman I'm going to want. Because, I mean, I'm a father. I'm 27. I'm not that old, but at the same time, I know exactly what I want and what I expect. And going to a club or to a bar, no. that's not going to be the kind of place I'm going to want to go to find a woman to be, a future stepmom of my son. Because that's the whole point of me dating anybody, is to see if they're going to be good enough to actually be around my son. Because, I mean, I've made it known to several people. It's like, my son means more to me than my own happiness. I will give the shirt off my back to make sure that kid's clothed. I don't give a fuck. I will go hungry before I let that kid go hungry. And, you'd think that would be like an endearing kind of like thing for most women. No, actually, the funny thing is, with the most women that I've actually talked to, it's always the same thing. It's like, well, yeah, I don't want to live like that. It's like, I'm not saying that's how I live. I'm saying, that's how far I would go. I mean, my son never goes without anything, ever. I never really go out with anything that I really don't need. But the fact of the matter is that, I don't care how hard I have to struggle to make sure that my son's happy. But trying to get that point across to, like, certain generations of people nowadays is, like, kind of insane, because they don't even really quite understand. And that's, like, the hard part when it comes to dating. But, at the same time, that kind of shit adds on to the lonely feeling. Being constantly told, especially by women, that, you're not going to find anyone because, you're too boring, or, the lifestyle you live is not exciting enough. It's like, being a parent's not meant to be exciting. Being a parent is meant to be, a parent. You're supposed to raise and, nurture and make sure that, the children are being, turned into something that's going to be, positive to society. Not some kind of low life that's going to, bring to everyone the fuck down. Oh shit. Oh hell yeah. But, like I was saying, battling the lonely feeling is a daily. Like, quite literally a daily. And it's not like, you feel it for a little while and then it goes away. No. It's pretty much there the entire time. And, usually kind of like, I wouldn't say disappears, but you're able to ignore it a little bit better when you have other shit to focus on. When you have other people to focus on. See, the kind of person I am, like, what helps me kind of like forget my lonely feelings is when I'm generally helping people with their problems. Whether I'm giving someone advice, which is why I do what I do, because it, one, helps me, it makes me feel a little bit better on a daily. It helps me, like, at the same time, being with someone isn't the most important thing in the world. What's the most important thing in the world is making sure that my son gets what he needs. Even if that means that I'm going to be alone the rest of my life. Because women don't want to understand that, a responsible person, a responsible parent, puts that child first, puts their children first. And, if they're not capable, then they're not willing. Which is exactly why I wouldn't want to go to a bar or a club or, like, any kind of sociable, like, place like that to even find a woman. It's like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to go somewhere like that, which is more of a place for people who want to, have an exciting life, who want to live and do all that kind of stuff. But, if you're capable of finding people to help out, or, finding something to preoccupy your mind, because that's literally what it is just finding something to get your mind off of that, like, God, I don't have anyone to talk to, or God, I wish I had, a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife, or, this, that, and the other. Like, for me, what makes it a little bit easier, other than, the fact that I help people on a daily, whether it be giving advice or, just helping in general, whether it be helping my family, helping my son, But, you know, my son is like primarily what helps me stay, you know, right. Like, just the constant daily thought processes of, you know, if I wasn't around, there wouldn't be anyone around for him. I mean, I don't want to be an asshole and, you know, say some bad shit about his mom, but his mom is a lazy, deadbeat piece of shit. And it really irritates me to, I mean, it really, really, really irritates me to see that, you know, she's out sleeping around, having fun, doing all this shit, you know, and I'm here alone, being responsible, doing what I need to do. It's like, fuck, makes me feel like shit all the time. That one thought process right there just pops in my head, makes me feel like shit. It's like, yeah, of course, the pieces of shit get to have a good life, get to have fun and everything else. Now, I have a good life because I get to spend every day with my son. I get to play every day with my son, get to interact with him and everything else. I get to see him grow. You know, that's just as important as being with someone, but I mean, shit. Being able to be with someone and have that, perfect right there. And the whole thought process of people looking for the perfect one is so fucking funny. I mean, that's like just the hugest, like, most childish thought process ever. It's like, oh, well, I want to find the perfect one. It's like, there's no fucking such thing. You should look for someone who's faithful, who's good.
Holy shit, is that a dead body?
And then from there, you two will build something into something extremely great. Having the aspects or thought process of, oh, I'm going to find the perfect one is this the stupidest thing ever. But of course, most younger people believe in that, and you kind of can't blame them because they have that whole, like, blind, like, oh, you know, like, still true love, like, thing, which I do believe in, like, love at first sight and true love and kind of, like, stuff like that, but the thing is, it's extremely rare. But not only just extremely rare, it's also just to the point to where, you know, most people in this day and age don't really care about love anymore. What they care about is getting what they want. And that's just the sad truth. If people were able to get past the whole I want thing and be able to start looking at, you know, what they need to do or what they should do, things would be a hell of a lot different for most people. But yeah, do expect to pretty much have the feelings all the time. I put it this way, if you're like me, you'll even have them while you're sleeping. So if you're like me, while you're sleeping, you're not peaceful whether you're asleep or while you're awake. Oh shit.
Oh god!
What the fuck? Right, asshole. Close that window. Fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna piss Jason off. Nah, you got me. the only other one left. But yeah, like I was saying, do expect, the feelings to be there on a daily. Do expect them to, you know, never really go away. Like, the only time they will, like, quite literally go away is when you have that one person, and or if you're one of those people who really is perfectly fine being alone. And that's not very many people. And usually that takes, like, years and years of being alone to the point where you're just like, okay, fuck it, I give up. That's where I am. I'm in the middle to the point where it's like I'm looking at both sides. It's like, should I give up or should I not? Should I give up or should I not? And what I mean is, like, give up on looking for somebody, not really give up on life, but give up on looking for somebody, because you'll be amazed on how much time and energy it takes to actually even bother to want to even look for somebody. It's like, fuck that. And like I was saying, most people nowadays, guys and girls, all they really care about is just having sex. It's like, I mean, shit, I love sex. Oh my god. But at the same time, I just can't sleep with any old person. I have to be able to have a connection with them. I have to be able to, like, have some kind of feeling towards that person. I have to want to be around that person. If he gets away by hiding behind that door, he's a lucky son of a bitch. Got 6 seconds left. It's easy now. Nope. But as long as you can actually find something to preoccupy your mind,
now, Jason.
helping people out
Your job is through.
mainly helps.
Return.
Helping people with their problems will help you. But at the same time, as soon as, like, that's done and over with, and they're gone, and it's only you, do expect it to come flooding back, because it will. It will come flooding back, and it's gonna suck, like, hardcore. Because it's happened to me several times, and all you really have to do is just primarily just understand that, hey, this is gonna happen. This is what I'm gonna feel like. This is how I can get past it, and then just go from there. Other than that, there's not very much you can do about it, and it really sucks. It really does. But always look towards the future. Always be positive. And it's really hard. But, that's the whole point of my advice, is just to be honest. And honestly, it's hard. It's going to be a daily struggle. Most people give up before they get very far at all. So, just understand and accept certain things will happen. And, sometimes certain things happen for an exact good reason. Like, the way I see it is, if my ex would still been here, my son's mom, then I'd be completely and totally miserable, even more miserable than I am right now, because I would be, one, alone, two, around someone who completely and totally hates my guts, and all she did was talk shit and, flirt and cheat on me with other dudes and chicks and stuff like that. So it's like, okay. And, add in with the constant daily arguments with, her and I, it was like, yeah, no, that's definitely not worth it. Not really at all. No, fuck that. And then I go, okay, well, if she was here, that's what my life would be. But she's not here, and you know what? I don't have daily arguments. I don't sit there and wake up and wonder, oh, am I getting a yelling or a dispute with Stacy? Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? Oh, am I gonna get a message from some random person saying that, yeah, your girlfriend is sending me pictures, or am I gonna get? It sucked. And like the entire time I was in the relationship with Stacy, I didn't feel, like I was wanted and or like, I was actually even there. I literally felt completely alone. And that was for at least 5 years. And then, when I started my relationship with my last ex, Isa, same feeling. It was, that feeling was still there. And it sucked. Like, it sucked miserably. And, you know,
I
those
have
two
to do
relationships
something.
that I
I
was
have
in
to escape.
taught me that, you know, even in a relationship, you will feel alone. And if you feel alone, you know, that loneliness right there, use that as a means to help yourself move the fuck on. Because holding on to somebody or wanting to be with someone who treats you that way, trust and believe me, ain't worth it. You'll think it is, because I've been there. Because you cared about them, you loved them, you thought they loved you, shit like that. Trust and believe me. Use that use that alone time that they're giving you, because that's what they're doing. Use that as a means to help yourself move on. Because quite literally, like, I mean, I kind of, I don't want to say I don't care what people say when it comes to like moving on, but moving on is extremely, extremely important. I mean, quite literally important. Some people don't realize how important, because some people will move on, and you know, as soon as they move on, their lives like skyrocket being better. It'll be amazing on how much better someone's life will get after like certain things happen for them. Especially if they end up finding that one specific person who might make their life better. Whether it be, you know, helping them financially to help them get off their feet to the point to where, you know, hey, you know, now, you know, certain things are happening. Because that's happened to a couple of friends of mine that I know. Like, one of my friends, he was a heavy duty addict. I mean, he did a lot of cocaine. I mean, one of very rare few people who still do cocaine. And, well, this dude, I'm gonna die here soon. I don't have any health. But, you know, he actually ended up going into rehab, and the woman that he met in rehab was actually one of his rehab nurses. She helped him get off the drugs and everything else, and he's actually become a better person because of it. I'm totally gonna die, but I don't care. I mean, I found that pretty cool at the fact that, you know, he met someone in that instance. She helped him get off his feet. She helped him get off the drugs. She gave him a place to stay after he got out of rehab, because, like, his family wanted nothing to do with him. Like, most of his friends, like, weren't even talking to him. I mean, you know, if I was still down there in that state, I probably would have helped him out, but, you know, I wasn't. But, I mean, ever since then, he's been clean. He's actually packed on the pounds. He looks almost normal like he used to look, except for, you know, the fact that you can tell that he used to do drugs like hardcore. And, you know, he's been with her for about, I'd say, 6 to 7 months. And, you know, they're actually dating now. And, you know, he takes every day, day by day. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke cigarettes. He literally doesn't do anything anymore like he used to. Which, you know, I'm actually really proud of him on that one. And he said that this is the best he's felt in a very, very, very long time. Because he's been doing drugs and partying and just going wild for years, since high school. And he's about the same age almost as I am. He's 26. So he's been partying it up for at least 10 years solid. Probably before that, actually. But hey, you know, he actually finally realized and saw, you know, what was better for him. And then, you know, I've actually had another friend. Almost the same thing happened, except more of, he went to prison. He met this girl through, like, some kind of, like, online pen pal, like, prison thing. Which, you know, go figure. And, you know, she turned his life around. He wasn't nowhere near as bad as my other friend, who was, like, heavy-duty drug addict. He was just more of, like, a thief. But, you know, she turned his life around. Now he has a really decent job. You know, he works for Edison Company. He goes out and, you know, he has 2 kids. They actually just had their second kid just, I think, about a month ago. And shit, he's been the happiest he's ever been in a very long time. So that's pretty cool. And, you know, they constantly tell me, it's like, if they would have never met that person that they're with right now, then they couldn't imagine where their lives would be. My friend would probably either be in jail still, or in prison, and or dead. My other friend, who's an addict, would be probably dead, if it wasn't for meeting those two. And they've both owned up to that, which shows how much they've grown, because they can actually own up to the fact that they did some fucked up shit. Like he even apologized to me, saying you know, pretty much saying sorry for all the shit he stole from me, because he stole a lot of shit from me. I straight out told him, it's like, dude, until either I get a actual sincere apology or until I get all my money back or my shit back, I don't want to hear from you. And he actually did have a sincere apology, and you know, I don't hold grudges for too long. Kind of stupid to hold a grudge and be pissed off at someone for like a long duration of time. I just like, you know, wasting your time in your life when you can actually be doing something else. Enjoying yourself, having fun, doing something.
Copy, I'm in road therapy. 10-437.
But, you know, like, it's amazing on, like, how certain things can actually make life better. Especially for certain people. Now, the same aspect, though, can be reversed. You know, meeting someone new, or meeting someone in general. Oh, hey, cool, thank you. Healed me. May not make your life better. May make your life a lot worse. Trust and believe me, I can contest to that, considering, like, my ex Stacy, that when I got with her, going to college, you know, I just got done going through, god dang, holy shit. Someone's internet's going bad. But just got done with college, you know, got registered as an EMT, you know, started working and everything else. But I diverted all my focus from that and started helping her out and, you know, helping her with her family and helping her out with her life, giving her a place to stay and doing a whole lot of stuff. And, you know, in doing so, you know, one, I did all this because, one, we were in a relationship and I thought she cared about me, but later on down the road, I kind of started noticing that that wasn't the case. Like, she didn't really give two flying fucks about me. And, you know, I regret that massively now. Why won't it let me pick up anything? Oh, it says I have something, but it doesn't look like I do. What the fuck? That's weird. But, yeah, you know, not everyone you meet will be a positive outlook on your life, but, you know, sometimes meeting that one specific person might actually make everything 100 times better. And I've met a couple people who've made my life a little bit better. Shit, made my son's life better, and that's all I really care about. If he's better, I'm better. Baseball bat. Do I have a map? No, I don't. But, you know, just be prepared for certain things as, you know, you're going through, you know, just having those feelings. Don't let the feelings win. Like, quite literally, don't let them win. It ain't fun feeling that way. It ain't fun doing any of that. So, just constantly try to think of something positive. You know, anything positive. Anything at all. Where'd he go? That's not cool. This game's glitching out bad right now. Oh, he's over there. Run away! Oh, pocket knife. Fuck yeah. And some health. Bring it, bitch. Want some? Come get some. I'm gonna kick you in the dick, Jason. Where are you? You were in my way. There you are. Fuck you! That's what? That's what, stab you in the neck, bitch. I'm gonna die, but I don't care. I'll make it hard. Oh shit, why is the door open? Cops are here. Shit, no map.
Oh my god! What happened?
I'm probably going the completely and totally wrong way. But I don't care. But yeah, you know, don't let, you know, the fear of, you know, maybe the next person you meet will be the same as the last person. Try to have, like, as much positive outlook as you can, because, you know, not everyone's exactly the same. You know, if you feel like, oh, all the guys in the world are all liars and cheats, or all women in the world only use men, you know, don't think like that, because that's not true. Like, if it was true, then we, as a species, would no longer exist. But the thing is, there are good people out there. They're just really, really hard to find, because most of the good people are so scared because they've been fucked over so many times that at one point in time, they just either give up or just don't even bother. It's like they want to, but at the same time, they're like, well, why? And after so many times of fails and fails and fails, you know, pretty easily to understand.
Oh,
Damn,
fuck.
okay.
Who is that? Oh my
Doesn't
god,
matter.
I can't look.
Is everyone dead? No. But, you know, you shouldn't let that scare you. Matter of fact, actually, you should try to have that, you know, strengthen your feelings on, you know, finding someone better. Especially if you're a good person. If you're a good person, you know, that should help you strive to look for someone just like you. Because, you know, you're tired of being alone. That's one thing that helps me, like, not give up. That helps me continue to look for someone that I know will actually treat me right. But not only that, most importantly, will treat my son right. They'll love me, they'll love my son. Ah, shit. You know, that's all that I really care about. It just comes down to finding someone like me, which, you know, is hard. But when you can find someone who's, like, faithful and, you know, caring and all that other kind of stuff, you know, the kind of person that, you know, you might be, then, you know, don't go after the very, like, first person you see just because they're talking to you. You know, give it some time, see how they are, see what they do, see how they live, and from there, you know, make your determination. You know, if they're exactly like you are, and you two get along, you two are able to talk and you know, interact and all that other kind of stuff, then there you go. Because it's really hard to actually find people who you're actually comfortable talking to, comfortable being around, and just being comfortable.
You want some more?
She just fucked him up. You could always use sugar wrap. You could always use that time that you had all that loneliness and lonely time to help you move on from your relationship that was pretty
Mommy
much a
is
complete and
proud
total
of
waste of your
her
time.
choices, but it's time
'Cause
to
I mean,
come home
5 years of my life was wasted. So that right there, it don't matter what relationship I get in. 5 years of my life was wasted. There's no way, no fucking way in hell I'm gonna let that shit happen ever again. I've literally came up with the choice of, you know what? Because that happened once, I'm not gonna let it happen again. If a relationship ends, a relationship ends. If I can find someone that very day, I find someone that very day. If it's someone I actually know and, you know, been comfortable with and shit like that. But, you know, that's a very rare thing. And also not very, very smart. Because, like I was saying, don't hop in with the very first person you see. Get to know them first. See if that's a person you actually would want to be with. But, anyways, I think that would be it for, you know, what to expect about being lonely. Oh, the host left. You know, what to expect and, you know, how you're gonna feel and how long and how often. It's usually, trust and believe me, it will be roughly all the time. All day, generally every day, unless, you know, you're working or, which actually, no. Even working, I still had that feeling. Generally, helping people is what honestly actually helped me feel better. That's the only time. Is usually if I'm, like, giving people advice, talking to people about, you know, bettering themselves, whether it be, you know, going to college, finding someone better, or, you know, just finding a better job, or, you know, focusing on yourself. Because, like, some people, that's what they need. Like, with me, it's like, over the years, it was me pretty much helping everyone, but the reason why is because I spent so much time alone that at a very young age, I was able to pretty much do a lot of self-reflection and understand that, you know, I know what I want. And then, you know, with all the failed relationships, that's where I found out that, well, I know what I want and what I should expect out of relationships. And if I start seeing certain things happen in a relationship, I should start getting the fuck out. So it's like, you know, over the years that I've been doing all of that, it's like, yeah, that's where I found out, it's like, moving on is more important for you than anything else, because it helps you lift off all that stress, that worry, that just anxiety of, you know, what the fuck you did wrong, or, you know, why'd you even go after that one specific person? Why'd you spend so much time with them? Why'd you waste so much effort in trying to keep it together with them? Like, I just think of that shit daily when it comes to my ex. It's like, what the fuck? But that's the thing about life. Life is a whole entire learning experience. And, you know, if you take every day, you know, just as it comes, there you go. But anyways, I think I'm going to call it a video. It's damn near almost an hour long, and I have to get my son ready. So I hope everyone has a great day, great night, great evening, all that great shit. You know exactly what I mean. Catch me for my next one. Later, guys.